A year ago, Lofty and I were setting climbing goals. He decided he would climb 27 A's, and I created a little bingo board of climbing skills that I wanted to tick off. We recently celebrated the completion of Lofty's goal, and it made me find and dust off the bingo board of skills I had abandoned at some point in the year. Looking at it made me want to finish it off, to take the process of learning to climb and turn it into an outcome, a list of skills that can be cleanly ticked off. So I'm also busy reading the book Enchanted by Katherine May. She has this description of the difference between shallow and deep terrain, where terrain is a field, a topic, a concept. Shallow terrain often comes with our fancy sanitized modern pursuits. The things we do that have been perfectly crafted to make us feel simple things. May says that they are the types of activities that permit only fun and exclude all the untidier human feelings. Social media springs to mind, a terrain that has nothing under its surface, nothing to explore or investigate, nothing to modify or fix. And I think that my bingo card is an attempt to make climbing a shallow terrain. To have it neat and sanitized and something that can be finished. But actually, I can't tick off that list of skills. Because what does it mean to be able to, just take one of them as an example, what does it mean to be able to drop knee? Does it mean that you can do it in drills in the gym? Or does it mean that you're able to select it as the correct technique for the correct climb? Can you spot drop knee opportunities outdoors on your project? And is it better than the alternative techniques? Will I ever really be done with learning how to drop knee? So the interesting thing about May's book is that it struck me that outdoor climbing is not that. It's not shallow and easy to tick off. Outdoor climbing is deep terrain. It's a place of unending variance and subtle meaning. It's different each time you meet it. If you bring questions into a deep terrain, May explains, you will receive a reply, but not an answer. And it's exactly this that makes climbing so appealing to me. I think I also instinctively sensed that outdoor climbing, as a deep terrain, will demand my knowledge. That was the good intention behind the bingo board, to build up a library of movement patterns and situation reading. As a new climber, I'm busy building the kind of knowledge that's experiential, the kind of knowledge that comes with study. But the bingo board was an attempt to tame this knowledge, to stick it into little boxes, literally, and to have it be simple and clean and one-dimensional, to control it. But the thing with a deep terrain is that when you know it, when you name it, it will reward you only with more layers of detail, more frustrating revelations of your own ignorance. So instead of trying to tick off all the skills from my list, I decided to have my climbing season for 2024 culminate in what I call Independence Day. I would take my non-climbing friend outdoors. And in this climbing session, I would be it. I would be the expert. I would have to figure out the approach, pick and find the route. I would have to put up drawers on the route and set up a top rope for her to climb. I would have to make sure that we kept each other safe as relayers, and I would have to clean the route and get us back to the car safely. It would be my first independent foray into outdoor climbing. This event is a culmination of the untidier parts of climbing. We spent an afternoon outdoors, and I didn't really climb anything difficult enough to warrant special techniques or trying hard. But the skills I did exhibit were skills I'd picked up from experience, from living them over the past year where other people were doing them for me. It was a celebration of the deep terrain of climbing. Being outside every weekend, touching the rocks, will show you the crawl of geological ages, the gradual change of the seasons, and the countless micro-seasons that happen across the year. Climbing has also shown me the micro-seasons that happen across days. Sometimes you feel good, and sometimes you regress. It has shown me the gradual change of my mental and physical abilities. And I'm beginning to see the hints of the bigger picture of what climbing might look like for me long term. Climbing has been an exercise in letting go. It can't be rushed or forced. The nuanced skills of outdoor climbing can't be acquired on a linear timeline. Or if it can, I've yet to meet someone who's figured it out. But that's okay, because the true goal is not to conquer 50 feet of inanimate rock. The goal is to expand your abilities through learning. And of course, everything is learning, success or failure. And I'm learning that if you just relax into that, the knowledge will come. You can meet with triumph and disaster and treat them just the same. And yes, I have learnt a lot about climbing this year. I've ticked off more of my bingo board than I thought I would, and I learnt a lot of things that weren't on my list at the start of the year. And I'm hoping that 2025 will continue that trend, because a deep terrain is a life's work. It will beguile, nourish, and sustain you through decades, only to finally prove, of course, that you too are ephemeral compared to the rocks and the trees.